3150. As of now, I'm going to say that this outbreak is reminiscent of 3375's outbreak, where we were notified pretty early, did not find a lot of bugs. People were very upset. They do travel a lot. They were really good about prepping for the treatment. We did a subsequent 2 weeks later, and we have no signs of any bugs. And we also notified all the bordering units, and they don't see anything. And I've been in every bordering unit and in the unit. So we're really still down to 102 in this building.
Now, we talked about instituting a bed bug policy, but maybe this isn't the best time to do that. Maybe we should
I'm
leave that for
underwater
a
with
year.
the assessment, but I would like to get to that by the year's end. I'd like to.
There's no good time to do it. Let's put it that way. So we're gonna continue to have outbreaks. We're gonna continue to pay for them until we just.
Until we say we will not.
Right. So.
But considering
So we get
the
nothing.
assessment and the homeowners' general upset, I don't think we need to put another, we're not going to pay anything if you do this.
Yeah,
Well,
but I
Policy
see,
in
okay,
place
so
at this
let's
point.
put that in light. How much is a treatment?
The treatment is, well, I'll say it's $500, but
per
it's,
unit,
but it can
Yeah.
be cheaper, but I'll say $500.
it's a lot of money for the homeowners to observe for neglect of the people that travel.
No vendor will say this unit is the source unit. I will often get owners admit, well, they'll say this is the source unit. One thing the bedbug dog helped me do was help say that is the source unit over there.
Is that why it's that expensive, because of the dogs?
No, so it's really 500 is the most it can be for the treatment and the follow-up. The bedbug dog was $250 for 5 units, and then $25 for every additional unit. Because they had so many bed bugs in this building, I felt it was warranted.
Yeah, I'm back in my mattress
to-
every time I change.
I definitely did more than I've done in the other 2 outbreaks on the 102 issue. To see if there was an outbreak and if it was spreading.
Try to carry those in clothes. It's like getting
There's no stigma, we just gotta fix it. I mean, one thing I think we should consider is a yearly bedbug dog inspection. That way, it's just part of the budget. It's not that much money.
Yes, it is.
Well,
And
okay.
I don't think we should observe one more expenses.
Well, then the other thing we could do is have it every time a lease, there's a new lease.
I mean, we can
you
suggest
could
in the
put that-
newsletters, people put some bed bug covers in your mattresses.
They get on your furniture.
I'm sorry?
They can get on your
Yeah.
furniture.
No,
in your
yeah, but it's
house.
not as bad if you have a cover your mattresses.
You ever had a bed bug bite you?
Never.
Me neither. I don't think you want one.
No, I don't. But if I get one, I will not come to the board and say, you have to pay for clearing my unit. I'll brought it to the unit.
So as a victim of the 102 incident,
Yeah.
yes, you do. Absolutely you do. I am infuriated that these people will not
Right.
let a treatment happen. This is the 3rd time they've sprayed.
The problem is they're letting treatments happen, but they're not prepping right.
Right, so
They have to bag the entire apartment at this point. They have to bag it, they have to let us get to every crevice,
Mhm.
they have to keep the stuff in bags.
2 weeks, there's a variety of things you have to do. So the fact is that when you're irresponsible, it's not just yourself.
Right.
You're inconveniencing. It's
To
other
somebody
people
else.
as well.
There might be precedent on that. It's tough. It's determining what someone can do within their unit, and that is always tough footing. There's probably a precedent that we can look at. But
That's
and I totally agree with your position, Tyler, because there is a source unit. Whether it's acknowledged by pros or not, there is, and it's tough.
I think those
You can put it
residents
in
should have to
motion,
pay
but-
for it.
Yeah, I still wanna, the problem is we've had
They have to
4 breakouts now, or 4 outbreaks. And it's not gonna get any better. If you guys pay attention to the news at all, they're finding them in public
Everywhere,
libraries,
yeah.
they're finding it, there's everywhere. So, this is.
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
did
go
have
away.
that on the-
If we close our eyes and go like this, it's still gonna be a
Very
problem.
serious.
Just out of curiosity, why isn't it if it's not in their unit, why is it the owner's not paying for it? I mean, if it's in a common area, I can see why we would pay for it.
Well, I'm ready to charge. I'm fine charging. My initial concern was I didn't want to get into a money fight with them till I could get in and treat. But I'm totally fine charging.
I think
It might actually be at this point be worth
If
charging.
you can only charge them if you can absolutely prove
You can't, the
where they
professionals
come
won't
from,
say
that's
so.
just it, and I think.
There were no bed bugs in any other unit when they reported
But
it.
usually they.
Because of their delay, we had a slight spread to a second unit. But there were no bed bugs in any other unit when we first went to their unit.
But my understanding is that the owner is responsible for anything inside their four walls, so therefore they're liable for it.
The fiance of the owner disputed it. I told him what I just told you, and then he backed down. The people that are living in the unit are not disputing it's the source unit.
Do I remember right, did you not ask the lawyer about that?
I did ask the lawyer
I
about
thought you did. What did he say?
it. You know, a molograph is good, but I honestly, I don't know if there is. We probably won't need to find a bed bug lawyer. Monographs that do what the pest control guys want you to do. That's the best they give me. Like I was saying, well, can I kick these people out? And they said you can't kick them out, but you can.
Are they homeowners or renters?
He's the son of the owner.
Well, I think our problem, when we talked about this a couple months ago, is the fact that we had been paying, and so we
Right.
set a precedent.
Right.
So until we vote on changing that,
Well, the problem with that is if we draw the line and say you have to pay, my problem is
They
delaying
won't tell you.
treatment.
Yeah.
Right, and also them not telling. I'm thinking maybe we split it or something. That we say, look, we wanna promote you telling us, the HOA will split the cost, will respond quickly. Well, you gotta understand, what if they don't tell us? Well, that's the problem, you got human nature
Yeah, you
besides
never
numbers
think
here.
they're, I mean, let's just say,
What if they're
never
renters?
had bed bugs, but it did not find
The owner
me.
have to pay?
So I
That's
get
right,
it.
I totally agree.
So I-
And if he has
Owner's
a unit
responsible
for
for
rent,
anything inside the four
he
walls.
needs to pay,
That's what it says.
right?
That's what I was told.
Well, then I do go back to the bed bug dog inspection once a year.
That's fine.
I
How
mean,
about-
maybe it'll be 4,000
How
a
about
year.
the middle ground of if we have empirical evidence that it's one unit, like we're
That
talking
means they're
about
doing
here,
something.
then we call the dog. If the dog says, yes, bed bugs here, and we could probably go in at that point, because we have a right to go into units. And if there are bed bugs in there, then they have to pay for the remedy.
And the dog.
Then you can't prove the source at that point.
You can't.
You
But they
can if
did
you don't
have
find
bed
it in any
bugs.
bordering units.
They did have bed bugs, like especially, usually that's not the first thing you do is say, we have proof on you. You try to work with the homeowner, you say, we believe you have bed bugs, this has been done.
And when it spreads from the source unit to other units, then.
Well,
you know that.
Well, then you bring in the dog and you say, look, your unit has bed bugs.
Yeah, but the original unit is the one that's at fault, not any of the others.
No,
that's-
none of the other units is correct.
I think everybody needs to have their bug sprayed or else there will be continuing
Oh, no,
problems
I
in that
don't
building.
disagree, this is what I'm fighting with 1 and 2.
Well, and so I think that rather than have a campus-wide dog inspection, that we could have warranted follow-ups when owners were not in complete compliance, because it has to be a building-wide solution.
Well, I could
believe
do a
that's what I'm
follow-up.
hearing.
For $500, I could do a follow-up border unit inspection, probably that is warranted at this time.
If they don't allow you to treat it proper, I think the mission has to pay for it actually.
They're on notice, I emailed them, I heard back from the fiance, she is pregnant and she's asking for some time. I said I need a 1-week window, that was a week and a half ago. I need a 1-week window of time where that your unit is prepped and bagged and the Orkin people can get into every room for a complete crevice spray and furniture spray, so dressers are empty,
Right.
they can spray the sofa, they have to be out of the unit for the day.
It's a mess. It's a mess no matter what happens. And that's why I was saying it's an inconvenience to anyone else that's not part of the source, but it's right to do.
Yeah, it's a health hazard. It's a little bit more than an inconvenience.
Well, our roofing, the health inspector, the roof is
Follow-up
an
treatment,
expert
you
on
have
this
to
stuff,
leave everything
Michael
back.
Reichen. He does that more
That's
than
2
the
weeks,
mold.
you can't touch the roof. Right, so,
But no, they need to pay for the damage they have done not only to us,
So
but
now
to
you
the
got them in 31
annex
you
units
said?
to them.
right, so
We had an outbreak in
For
3150.
$4,000,
But it was,
we get a dog.
I think we can do the whole campus for $4,000 a year.
And we're talking about 8 outbreaks at that point, which you've already had 4 of.
I've had 3 buildings, two are, one from a year ago, no repeat really in the last month and a half from 3150. But, continuing issue here, 3240.
So is that 2 this year, or is that?
2 this year, 1 last year. So 3 building outbreaks, since I've been here.
Well, then it's especially bad this year too. It's, it really is. Everywhere.
And this is only one type of pest. The point is, we don't have a pest control policy, and these are bed bugs. We're not talking about cockroaches or anything else that is still potential.
Let's wait on that.
Okay, so, I'm probably gonna do a $500 dog inspection. I'm not gonna wait for 102. Is that okay? And I'm gonna
Yeah.
invite all bordering units in yours for a dog inspection next week, okay?
That's fine.
Is
So,
there a pro forma bed bug policy out there
There is,
someplace?
and I sent you guys that.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
are,
remember
we all
seeing
same.
that.
It was
Okay.
never that bad, and we, but it was in the same unit. Wasn't it last year the same unit too, Barney?
Are we talking about 3240?
Mm.
Well, we've had a
104.
history of issues with this unit. We've had roaches in this unit, and they did report bed bugs 8 months ago. I went there with Orkin. We ripped the bed apart. Probably on hindsight, there were bed bugs there, and we should have ripped other rooms apart. But the
Actually,
mattress and we couldn't find anything. And I was with Ray Stiles of Orkin.